In this tutorial, we're going to add some textures and also use the UV Unwrap to put your textures where you want them to go. So this is kind of the model I've been working with. I kind of color coded everything beforehand so that it's easy to place things. And then the next thing I want to do is just kind of open my textures and show you kind of what that should look like. So right now I have all my Blender files kind of in this area, and that's where this is saved to. And you should have a folder for textures. I mean, you can have your images just right by it, but basically your Blender file is going to want to link directly into your folder, and you don't want to go like out into your desktop or out into your downloads or some random place. So it's best if it just has a direct connection, not going in and out, but just in or just right out here. And that's where I have all these different options that I'm going to put on my model and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that. So when you want to do that, I'm going to maybe do this top part first. So I've already got it over here. So tabletop, I've already applied that color. And then if you just click on the little circle here, the little node thing, and we're just going to use what's called an image texture. So image texture, and then go ahead and open that up. And then from here, just locate that same folder. So I gotta locate it because I don't have it pointed directly to it. And then if you're not seeing it like this, you can come up here and change it from vertical list to what I'm on, thumbnails, and that's where you can see it a lot easier. So, and then I'll just go ahead and choose the one I want, click open image, and then give it a minute to show through, and there it is. So there's my image on there. And if hopefully it turns out the way you want it to. If it's not, then that's where we're going to do a little bit of UV editing. So I'm going to jump into a new tab now, UV editing. And first thing, I need to show all my stuff because it's not showing up. So go to my mode and go to my materials over here too. So there's my tabletop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap this texture. So, and I have it along the sides too, but I'm going to just do the top part. So if I select and then hold down Shift, and I'll go ahead and press U, or I can come up here and just unwrap it that way. That's probably easier. So that will basically unwrap it, and I can kind of see that over here. If I press the letter A, it'll grab that, or it'll select it, and then if I press G, that will let me grab it and move it around. I can also press S to scale it in or out. And if it's a seamless texture, then it doesn't really show up. And this one looks like it's pretty seamless, so I'm doing okay. But I could also press R to rotate. And if I hold down Control, it'll kind of constrain it. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Well, there is a seam there. So if I don't like that seam, then find a seamless texture, or you could just kind of shrink it and then grab it, and maybe I'll just do that. So that should be okay for that. So let me do one more. And this time I'm going to do one that's a little bit more complicated. So maybe I'll do kind of this wallpaper area. So on the walls, I'll go ahead and just, once again, click on the little node and go to image texture, open it up, and go into my textures, and I've got this wallpaper one, so I'll try that one. That one might be a little tricky, but we'll click on it and it throws it right in there. So once again, it puts it on there. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but I'm going to see if I can unwrap it a little bit and play with it a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all those. And a quick way to do that, since this is a little harder to select, have that selected and then go to select. That'll automatically select everything assigned to that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do the unwrap. And then once I did that, now I've got this little pattern over here and I have it unwrapped. And that might be enough. If it's not, press A over here to select, S to scale, and I can kind of play with that, G to grab and position it on there. So, and maybe I just kind of put it up here so I don't see that going anything weird. So that's my unwrap. If I still didn't like how that was turning out, you can also select individual parts and just unwrap individual parts, and that kind of helps out too. So let me just do the flooring real quick. Select that, and then add a texture, image texture to that. Open it, images, and let's see, let's do maybe this nice dark one. And then I'm going to go ahead and UV unwrap that one, and maybe S to, maybe I'll just rotate. So A, and then R to rotate, and then S to kind of scale it. Or maybe I don't want to rotate it. I'll go back with the grain. Okay, and that's a little bit about UV editing and how you kind of make your stuff look, all your textures on there.